Rich, what's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Good.
Hey, George, just to let you know, I'm actually currently wearing my embroidered Destroyer sweatshirt right now, driving home from work.
That's cool.
But my it's kind of a heavy question, but I was wondering if you thought that your career would be different if you didn't kind of harvest the party MC character that you use on stage. Because sometimes you put on a phenomenal show, and so forgive me. But you know, like sometimes I've seen you play, and I just wonder if you played like straight up, like sweating, like hardcore blues without worrying about keeping the party going. If you think your career would have ended up a little different.
No, I just pretty much picked up the guitar and just did what came natural to me. You have to understand something. What'd you say your name was?
Rich.
Rich. I'm sorry.
No problem.
Rich, when we started this band, we were a bar band. You have to understand we weren't a concert band, or we weren't a arena type thing, and we didn't play in coffee houses. The only living we had was in bars, so we had to kind of adapt to that. And playing there for years, we didn't get a record out. It took us 4 years, and we were playing bar after bar after bar, and we kind of developed a barroom type act, to make a living.
Right.
You know, and I became, a little bit more of an aggressive front man, so to speak, because you kind of had to be. We played places there were no cover charges, and they could tend to be a little rough. And if we didn't, rise to that, without being violent, of course, we wouldn't have survived. Yeah. And there's still a big carryover of that, I believe, at this point in my life, of the places we play. You can still see some of that. That feeling, like when Pete Rose broke into baseball. I mean, he played in the minor leagues. He did not want someone to take that job away from him, and that lasted throughout his whole career. And I pretty much identify with that. I worked too hard to get my job, and I'm not going to let it go. So I guess that still kind of clings to me from day one.
I mean, that's an interesting way of looking at it. I never really thought about it. I mean, if you ask a lot of like long-term George fans, like a lot of the stuff that you do to get the crowd involved and to feel like the party atmosphere is like engulfing the room, a lot of us, don't necessarily need that from you, and it's like we almost feel like you have to do that because you're obligated to do that, and we wonder if it's, you're like, oh, I got to put on the George hat, or whether you sometimes wish you could just play.
Well, maybe I will someday in my old age.
Right.
Maybe I'll be able to just, cut all that loose and just walk out there and say, I saw B.B. King recently, and he came out and he sat down in a chair and he said, look, I'm 82 years old, man. I'm going to sit down. So the guy's been partying for so long. I said, well, give him a break.
Yeah.
And, and that day may come where I could say, well, next time I hit a home run, I'm going to walk around the bases.
Right. Well, you're still putting on an amazing show, and I appreciate it. And see you next time around in Boston, all right?
House of Blues, baby.
See you, man.